Hello and welcome to another movie review and recap. The movie we're going to be looking at today is definitely on the weird side. Today we're going to be taking a look at Bad Milo, a horror comedy that came out in 2013, but on HBO Max it says 2022 for some reason. I don't know, it's not important. Moving on. I thought this was a wonderful movie. It's silly, it's gross, but also has quite a bit to it. A man named Duncan has something in his colon due to a bunch of stress, but that something turns out to be a little creature living inside of him. Every time the creature leaves Duncan's body, it claims victim after victim. Before we take an even deeper dive into Duncan's movie, I just want to remind you to hit that like button and also subscribe for more movie fun. Now let's take a look at Bad Milo and perhaps see what makes Milo so bad. So we start off hot with our main character Duncan running in the street. It appears he's running from something as we have a few cuts to a POV shot of some little creature running in the street as well. Duncan gets to a house and tells his wife Sarah to run to the basement. Sarah is played by Gillian Jacobs, who is in one of my favorite shows, Community. And she's also in another horror movie, Come Play, which I really enjoy that as well. Okay, back to the movie. The thing that was chasing Duncan breaks down the door and lunges at him. The opening credits roll, then we go back to 123 hours earlier. Duncan and Sarah are in a doctor's office and Duncan is getting an x-ray of his stomach because he's been having, well, bathroom problems. Dr. Yeager tells Duncan that he's got a lump in his colon and it's due to poor stress management.
You got a thing in your butt.
He says they can do an operation on it, but for the time being, he just has to keep calm and not stress out too much. He even recommends therapy, which Duncan's not too thrilled about. We now see Duncan arrive at work where he's an accountant, but not anymore. His boss Phil, who's played by Patrick Warburton, moves him to human resources, and his new office is an old bathroom. Oh boy. But wait, there's more. Not only does Duncan have a new assistant named Alistair, who's, how do I say this nicely?
Hey there, Cubie. That's what I'm saying instead of rooming.
A bit of a dweeb, but now he's in charge of the layoffs. Yep, the guy who needs to tone down the stress levels has to let people know they're gonna be losing their jobs. Excellent. Duncan goes to see the therapist Dr. Yeager recommended because he knows Sarah wants him to go. His therapist, Dr. Highsmith, is a little unhinged, arguing with his parrot and wanting to perform hypnosis on Duncan. Duncan, who obviously isn't a therapy guy, just wants to leave, and honestly, I can't blame him.
I'm sorry, what's happening?
Witch doctor! Witch doctor!
Shut up!
Please, don't listen to him.
That night, Duncan and Sarah are having dinner with Duncan's mom and I'm assuming his new stepdad, Bobby.
Duncan,
Yeah,
you can call me Dad or Daddy.
no need to.
Papa.
Bobby, it's good with me.
You know what? Don't call me Daddy. That's reserved for somebody else.
This dinner scene, in my opinion, is a very nice combination of funny and uncomfortableness. Is that a word? Uncomfortableness? I don't care. Duncan's mom thinks he's having problems with another part of his body, so she invited a fertility doctor over for dinner. What's the fertility doctor's name? You're 100% not asking? Well, shut up. You need to know his name.
This is Dr. Lawrence Tipp.
Dr. Lawrence Tipp. Amazing. And obviously with the fertility doctor there's a lot of penis talk, so do whatever you want with that information. So after this dinner, I just feel so bad for Duncan, and also shout out to Ken Marino though. I've seen a couple interviews with him and he seems like a very happy and fun dude, but in this movie he just is like this tired and anxious mess, so big bravo right there. To add to that eventful dinner, Alistair calls Duncan to let him know that he accidentally deleted a very important file from Duncan's computer. He also flooded the bathroom, so that's another plus. Speaking of bathroom, looks like Duncan has the tummy rumbles again and heads to the bathroom to take care of business, or in whatever noise is happening, it doesn't seem very healthy. He later is having talks with Sarah about their future plans to start a family. They both want to have a kid, but clearly Duncan has a lot on his plate at the moment. He tells Sarah to go to bed without him because whoops, it's bathroom time again. Sarah's asleep in bed with earplugs in so she can't hear Duncan screaming his ass off, no pun intended, while he's on the toilet. He passes out on the floor and there's a noise coming from the toilet. We then see a shadowy little figure walk past Duncan. The little thing makes its way to the office where Duncan works and finds Alistair in the bathroom office and attacks him with blood going everywhere. And then he returns back to Duncan. The next morning, Duncan sees on the news that Alistair was killed. Everyone seems to think it was a rabid raccoon. He goes to work and the bathroom sure is a mess. Phil tells him that he has to go and fire a guy right there, right now. His boss is kind of a dick, but I'm sure you could probably tell. Duncan actually has to fire a whole bunch of people, and Phil fills him in, haha, and says he also has to fire more people tomorrow. Later on, Duncan goes in for his operation. He's passed out, and Dr. Yeager has a camera up where the sun doesn't shine, and he's looking for that lump in Duncan's colon. It doesn't seem to be there anymore. Then a little creature with sharp teeth pops on screen and pulls the doctor face first into Duncan's ass and attacks him. Now, even though the scene isn't all too graphic, I don't know how YouTube will feel about face and ass action, but the scene doesn't matter too much anyway because it was all a dream. At this point, Duncan says screw it and tells the therapist to just hypnotize him. Dr. Highsmith does as such, but while Duncan is hypnotized, he starts talking about his dad and how Sarah wants a family. That causes his stomach to rumble and he falls to the floor. Then a little creature comes out of Duncan's ass and wow, look at him. He's beautiful. Highsmith grabs a spear to defend himself.
Hold it right there.
He snaps Duncan out of hypnosis, and Duncan sees his little colon creature baby thing for the first time. After they all scream for a bit, the creature dives out the window. Highland has a book of myths, and he finds a page on the myth of our anus.
Myth of our anus.
He tells Duncan that's in fact what was inside of him. It's a part of Duncan. He says it's a physical manifestation of your dark side and that Duncan should try to bond with it before it returns up his ass. The fertility doctor from dinner the other night is out in the alleyway treating someone by a dumpster. After she doesn't return the favor, he hears a noise in the distance.
Hello? Brittany? Don't be a little bitch.
It's the little creature and he tackles Lawrence Tip to the ground and oh my god, he rips Lawrence Tip's tip off. Oh my god, why are they showing everything? What the hell have I just watched? Okay, so the little creature makes his way back to the therapist's office and Duncan tries to bond with it. He names it Milo and he talks to him for a little bit. It's time for Milo to return back up Duncan's ass and that's exactly what Milo does. Just shimmies its way up there. Duncan now really has to stop stressing so much because every time he has an episode, Milo will come out and start some shit. What definitely won't help him stay stress-free is if one of his clients' accounts got drained of all of its money and oh no, that's exactly what happens. He tells Phil about it and Phil wants him to do some illegal shit with the company's funds, so that's a yikes. While at work, he sees on the news that now Lawrence Tip was killed by the supposed serial killer raccoon. We're back in therapy now and Highsmith hands Duncan some sock puppets, a cornerstone of therapy. It's quickly revealed that he's got some daddy issues.
Hey, I hate you, Dad! I hate you! Shut up and eat your goddamn dinner, son!
Hold it.
When Highsmith asks Duncan about his dad, Duncan's stomach starts rumbling. So it's clear that a lot of his stress is built up by him wanting to eat his dad. Wait, no. No, his stress is built up by his issues with his dad. My bad, my mistake, that's on me. He travels to see his dad and it turns out he's some sort of hippie, I guess. He's smoking in a teepee and Duncan wants to resolve some issues and asks him to go to therapy with him, but his dad says he can't. Because of this, Duncan has to head to the outhouse because Milo is ready to be on the move again. He tries to tell Milo that he can't kill his dad because, you know, obviously. So Milo goes back in and Duncan tries to find food for Milo at his office. He sees what I assume is Alistair's pet mouse and, well, he feeds it to Milo by putting the mouse in a sketchy little area. A coworker walks in and tells him that there are federal agents at the office. Apparently Phil's been doing some sketchy stuff, it seems. He badmouths Duncan.
Come on, dude. You don't think I was stupid enough to invest here? Fuck no. I'm good. You got no poker face. You're a pussy. In this world of ours, pussies don't excel.
So Duncan lets Milo badmouth Phil, and by badmouth, I mean he lets Milo kill Phil in the elevator.
What the fuck is that?
Fuck you, Phil.
Duncan's back home and he lets Sarah know that their financial future is up in the air. Well, Duncan, you got big news? Sarah also has big news.
I'm pregnant.
Since when?
That's gonna obviously unload a lot more stress onto Duncan, so he leaves before Sarah can get hurt. He hangs out in a motel room with Milo, trying to get him to eat something, but Milo wants blood, baby. They're also watching the Hulk on TV. Nice touch. Duncan calls his dad and tells him to please go to therapy with him so this can all just settle down. His dad finally agrees to go, and in therapy, Duncan asks why. Literally, just why? His dad says he was never gonna be a good dad, so he left. They argue with each other and it starts to get intense. Duncan's stomach starts to rumble again, but his dad's stomach starts to do the same. They both fall to the floor in pain and Milo comes out of Duncan, but Milo is no longer the only ass monster in this movie. Because out of Duncan's dad's ass pops out Ralph, an older looking version of Milo. Milo and Ralph start to attack each other and have an ass monster showdown, which would be an excellent name for a movie. While they're both fighting, we see that Duncan and his dad can feel it every time their little guys get hurt in battle. Like Highsmith mentioned earlier, it's a part of you. Milo kills Ralph and Duncan's dad definitely doesn't look too good. His dad brings up that he knows that Sarah is pregnant and that triggers Milo. Milo darts out the window and so Duncan heads to Sarah while Highsmith tends to Duncan's dad. Sarah is at a party at Duncan's mom's house, and when Duncan tries to call her, of course Sarah's phone's on vibrate. He gets a hold of his mom though, but then he drops his phone and it breaks. Pretty bad timing to be reckless, Duncan. Come on, man. So now we're back to the beginning. Duncan gets to the house and tells his wife Sarah to run to the basement. Sarah's played by Gillian Oh wait, no, I already said this. Whoops. Deja vu, I guess. Oh shit, Milo broke the door down. Okay, back on track. Sarah makes it to the basement, and apparently Duncan's mom and Bobby like to have loads of fun in their free time. Duncan threatens Milo with a knife, and he won't let him hurt Sarah. Milo goes down the kitchen sink pipe and ends up at another sink in the basement with Sarah. Little fucker's trying to be like Mario going through all those pipes. Duncan tries to use an axe to break into the basement. Milo and Sarah are making a mess of things down there, and Milo gets the upper hand by biting Sarah and just punching the shit out of her. Milo goes to take a big bite of Sarah's belly, but Duncan runs in and tackles Milo. Sarah runs outside where Duncan's mom and all the guests are. They grab tiki torches to keep Milo back. Duncan comes out and chops off his arm. He yells out that he is not his father and chops the rest of Milo's limbs off. Duncan holds Milo in his arms and oh my gosh, why is this making me emotional? Duncan's mom apparently knew about his dad's own Ralph issues, but didn't think it was hereditary. Well, I mean, she's kinda right. Hereditary's a different movie. Duncan and Sarah go to the bathroom and Sarah helps Milo get back into Duncan's ass. How sweet. We jump forward some time into the future and we see that Duncan is actually running the company and now Sarah is having her baby shower. A happy ending. We also see that Duncan's dad is still alive and at the baby shower. An even happier ending. Then an evil look spreads across his dad's face and we see that there's not just a baby inside of Sarah. There's another Milo creature. Not so happy ending, but I'll take it. Well, wasn't that an experience? We laughed, we cringed, we prayed that we never got so stressed out that we'd end up with a little alien inside of our asses. Wait, just me? I love a good horror comedy and this movie delivered. Though it was on the more comedic side of things, I still feel it had some creepy moments. And by creepy, I mean why are you biting a man's dick off? Since we've reached the end of our journey, it's time to see what others thought. The audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is a 41%. Okay, audience, you're kind of bumming me out. First, the Ruin score was a little too low, but this? No sir, bro. This audience score is way too low. This is an above average movie and a great way to spend an hour and 20 minutes or so. I definitely see myself watching this again down the line, so on the critically acclaimed Nico meter, I'm giving this a 74%. The movie sometimes jumps from scene to scene, but it's not really that much of an issue, at least for me. And a big plus is Milo is actually a puppet. The effects were done practical, and that's always a plus in movies. And now I really want a Milo puppet. You'll have a fun time watching this, unless of course you're not into the whole creature crawling out of a guy's ass thing, which I guess is understandable. Bad Milo is on HBO Max if you want to check it out for yourself, which I highly recommend. I want to also shout out my Discord server and my Instagram page. That's where y'all can vote on what movie is going to be next on the channel. Hope you enjoyed the time we spent together talking about ass monsters and such. Like the video and subscribe, it would make me a very happy boy indeed. See y'all in the next video, bye bye.